Early in my career, I had the opportunity to study with an off-Broadway director. And what it taught me was what types of language and behaviors are creativity enablers and what are, creativity killers. My philosophy is that everything is a bet on talent, and in particular, the portfolio of talent that you cultivate. And it's not just the people that you choose, but it's the chemistry between them and the way that they make collective decisions that really drive towards enterprise value. Early in my career, I had the opportunity to study with an off-Broadway director. And what it taught me was what types of language and behaviors are creativity enablers and what are, creativity killers. For example, the word but is a killer. It stops the conversation versus just simply saying and versus but gets the person to talk in another direction. Most powerful words, tell me more. When you say tell me more, it just invites the other person to explore their reasons, to be open, to be sort of curious about their own sort of journey, their own experience. And with those words, I've learned so much more about my colleagues, my clients, my customers. And it's really been the start of an incredible, I'd say, listening journey for me. Working in consulting has taught me a lot about longer-term strategic planning, about roadmaps, interdependencies, investments, all the kind of rigor that goes behind business planning. And I think in combination, the rigor with the ability to make fast decisions and get points on the board is something that I try to take to our clients in every case. Throughout my career, I've made a series of bets on disruptive technologies before the markets were proven and before it was sure who was going to win in that market. And that is something that I've been advised against multiple times. But each time for me, it's proved out to be both a great learning experience and in some cases, a great career success. AI is definitely transforming the workforce. What we're seeing is that companies across the board are needing to really rewire their workforces to be served by a combination of humans and agents working together. In terms of new roles, we've already seen the rise of chief data officers as a C-suite type of role. The next one we're going to see is chief governance officers. What clients need to understand about AI is that it's not just about the agents, it's about the entire operating ecosystem. And one of the things we're working with them right now on is making sure that they have codified that business intelligence layer that can give instructions to the agents as well as to the humans. It's a layer that you can put your brand guidelines in there, you can put your legal rules in there, your KPIs, your decision trees. And that is such a critical differentiator for clients today to make sure that all of their values are incorporated and are being acted on with speed as they are using agents to do things like automated content creation. Marketing has really been on the forefront of AI transformation as a commercial function that has traditionally had very manual end-to-end workflows. It is a place that is ripe for both disruption, but also immediate results. And what we've seen with being able to lead with marketing in terms of AI transformations, we've been able to prove out 20 to 30% productivity improvements, 3 times ROI, as well as up to 10 times speed in terms of creation. And that has built excitement throughout the organization in terms of the potential for other functions to follow in terms of AI transformation. It's super important to be hands-on to really be understanding the potential. We've been on our own journey to get all of our workforce of 33,000 people comfortable with AI, to make sure that they were getting incredibly smart about being the best prompter in the world and understanding what prompts to ask. And that really comes back to the first principle of asking the right questions. Number one. Number two, making sure that you understand all the sources. And number three, you have to do the thinking yourself. And those are skills that I think blend really well into the workforce. For marketing, the main thing to optimize for that's not as easy to show up right now is brand health. Investing in brand is so important. It's important for defining who you are in a world that's being disrupted by LLMs. It's important for making sure that you control the narrative, as well as it's important for economic measures like pricing power over the long term. One of the things we've done at BCG is we've developed a metric that allows marketers to get an early read on how brands are working. We call it first fast response. And while we're waiting for the longer term results that show up in traditional marketing mix measurement, it's a great way to get a proof point that brand matters and that brand drives measurable results and ROI. The next generation of leaders needs to understand that the pace of change is only going to accelerate, and that the ability to look to the past as a predictor of the future is limited. And they're going to have to become faster at accepting change, at being accountable for making decisions based on what's working right now and what no longer works. I think it's really important to take signals from the market. A couple of signals that I personally use are, where are venture capital companies investing? Where are consumer eyeballs going to? And in particular, where are the younger consumers spending their time? Because that is always a harbinger of what's going to go mainstream. For companies to succeed, it's really important for them to have a North Star that gives them the long-term direction on where they're going. But then planning in increments, planning both on a yearly basis, but also revisiting it every quarter and having a very honest, candid conversation about what's working, what's not working, where do we need to pivot, what do we need to do with other people in the organization and other departments to make sure that we're actually moving forward on this. So I think it's that combination of long-term purpose, long-term stability, but clear-headed view of what's happening at every step of the way that leads to success.